Hey Lee,
Yes.
what's the question today?
The question today is, should we be ostracizing head coaches of teams the way we do in 2019 by using every little bitty thing that they've ever done against them when they're looking for a job?
Or, what are your thoughts on the Mike Babcock situation?
I don't.
That would have been a lot easier to just
That's
say.
not
what are your
that's
thoughts
not
on the
what
Mike
I'm looking
Babcock
for. I don't want to hear
situation?
about that. Well, there is a lot of hoopla going on in Toronto right now over the firing of one former head coach, Mike Babcock. A ton of press is going on, and this is what it is to be fired in 2019.
Wait, say his name again?
Babcock.
One more time.
Babcock.
That's funny. The second half of that's funny. Put a lot of emphasis on the...
Babcock. Rated G. All right, in all seriousness, Toronto, which is pretty much the New York Yankees of hockey, fired their head coach, Mike Babcock, who had a 7-year deal. I think he was 4 years through his deal. Probably a good decision to move him on. The team was not performing, but there is a lot of controversy now about what he did during his time as head coach, and that is going to be the topic of quick shift today, because I don't know if a lot of this scrutiny is necessarily fair. One, I'm a big believer in what's said behind closed doors remains behind closed doors, which really is a rule that you follow. There's no way that we as fans have the context or the contextuality to understand what goes on behind closed doors today.
Within reason, we're not trying to pull a locker room talk here.
It's easy to judge 2020. If they won 2 Stanley Cups, you would have heard a lot of, see, he knew what he was doing, blah, 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 which kind of brings me to the next point. There are a lot of coaches in the NHL that were hated by their players. Hated by their players. And they still had head coaching jobs. So it comes down to the end of the line here is there's kind of power of positive persuasion and negative persuasion, and they both get results. So, for example, if you were a fan of the New York Rangers in 1994, and Mike Keenan's your coach, I don't hear a lot of hatred about Mike Keenan from the fan base. The players couldn't stand it.
Yeah, I heard a lot of bad stuff about Keenan.
Think about this, okay? Now, again, we're not talking about youth hockey here. This is kind of where this gets jumbled. Youth hockey is a different world altogether. This is professional hockey, and coaches are paid to get results. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with the negative tactics coaches take, but if they get results, see what I'm saying? I mean,
There's definitely a balance to it. I guess, if it gets results, but it's not, crossing some kind of line. It doesn't sound like he's crossed, any, line of,
this is a lot of
or
hate.
Anything like that.
There's a lot of hate coming out towards the guy. He's got multiple Stanley Cups. Correction, I was wrong. Babcock has 1 Stanley Cup with the Detroit Red Wings, although he does have multiple gold medals with Canada in the World Juniors and Olympics. If you've never had to coach pro athletes before, which I'm just assuming a lot of you haven't, it's a different animal, okay? I know that sounds a little egotistical, but it's not like youth hockey. These guys got contracts and money, and they do what they want, and sometimes
they're usually getting paid more than...
grind them into submission. Let them know what they need to win.
What?
So, anyway, the kind of thing we want to hear from you is comment below. Back to that. And let us know what you think about Mike Babcock as a coach, coaches in general, what they can or cannot do, and just your general thoughts on the situation. It's probably a little bit longer of a quick shift, but it's a pretty important topic as we head into the American Thanksgiving. We'll see you tomorrow.